Good morning, all. Peace to the nation. I hope this morning finds y'all well. This is your guy, Flavinus in the year. You can call me Flav. You can call me Flav Niger, Mr. Niger, or Doc Flav. But titles are insignificant right at this point. I want to get straight into it now. Before you all begin this, I once was a Democrat supporter. You could call me a Democratic Party supporter, well, Democratic, a member of the Democrat. Now I can't even say I voted for them Democrat people once upon a time. And I guess you could look at it as being I don't even know if it was something that was passed down. I don't think I talked to my mama and my pappy too much about who they voted for or what they voted for, or too much about political policy at all. Um, a lot of the interest that I developed in politics has been gained once I become an adult. I I'm no longer a Democratic Party supporter. I no longer believe in the two-party system. I don't believe that this current government and its participants has the best interest of the African American, the Black, the Negro, and the nigger people in mind. So one of the things, and I need to get because it's going to move. I'm moving like that. Okay. One of the things that I guess pushed me all the way away, just turn my stomach against them, because it's pretty much the first right before no, yeah, right before when Obama was running. uh, my TV kind of stayed stuck on MSNBC. Uh, I can understand, the mind is attracted to what is pleasant to the mind. The mind wants to hear things and see things that are pleasing to it, that make them comfortable. Those things that make you comfortable or make them comfortable. Uh, Things that don't threaten them, things that are not confused by. So MSNBC, while Barack Obama was running, and Barack Obama was handling McCain because McCain was, I guess it's some type of imaginary. I mean, you could look at it at this point. It was something that may have put in our mind, as if there was a black, there was a nigger. Pardon me, because I'm gonna talk like not to say that this is my channel is as of yet a channel that has to worry about advertisers and monetization. A nigga, we perceive this to be a nigga going against a white man. McCain. People were familiar with McCain. McCain had his own backstory himself, and Bro Obama. I call him Bro Obama. If you hear me say Bro Obama, it's only because he's my bro. Uh, I call him Bro Obama because he's my bro. That's what the world. I mean, and maybe not necessarily the world, but those people who are in charge of Bro Obama, they think that Bro Obama is the brother to all African American, Black people of color, uh, Negro and nigger males. So he's able to come to them and give them counsel, and I mean that's not only counsel, but give them direction. So I mean, one of the first things that I realized, well, damn, I just really, I might have been propagated. My mind has been infused with messages, and I've grown favorites. I pick certain commentators or broadcasters as my favorite. Meanwhile, my mind is not is being programmed thoughts and and loyalties and dedications to things that I didn't conspire myself. It's just the things that I've seen and the people that that I see talking about it. So with that being said, let me just start because I don't want to hold this too long. I just want to give a little background. I don't fuck with the Democratic Party. I don't fuck with the Republican Party. I have no faith in the current two-party system that it has the best interest of the nigger folks, the black folks, black Americans, nigger American folks of which I am by lineage, ancestral lineage, a part of. It doesn't. I'm not trying to tell you what you should do or what have you, and I'm not saying specifically what I'm gonna do because after Obama got up there and tried to and well, they ain't tried to, but well, I guess you could say tried to. I don't know what he in his mind when he came out and said, "I'm going to speak to specifically the brothers." Why? The least enfranchised group of people in America. That's who you want to speak to, Humber Obama. Them, us black males, the nigger boy. You want to speak to the nigger man, Obama. First thing you ought to do is take a little bit of aggressiveness out of your voice. I don't want to make this that video because I only say this because you'll hear Joy Reid. Now, Joy Reid is someone. I mean, at the beginning, I mean, I could take her or leave her. She talking about shit I thought that I wanted to hear about, but as years and time is going on, especially when during the time when Trump was going against Hillary and they were talking about Russian bots and things like that, how so-called black folks or so-called black social media platforms, they were um, being overtaken, that we were being puppeted by Russian interests. So we were Russian bots. Even though we were talking about things, we were talking about how Hillary Clinton called the po nigga baby super predators. Hillary Clinton told them, so we got to bring them to heel. What do you mean, bring them to heel? Meanwhile, Donald Trump. Now, I'm going to say this before we get started, also, because it's something I thought about, and I think it may have been something that might have been propagated to me, but it made sense. The reason that you even have a Donald Trump is because of Barack Obama. Barack Obama, he came out, just like any other one of the Democratic black African American leaders that are being campaigned to be the next whatever. They generally come out of nowhere. You don't really have a backstory. You guys don't have a real backstory about the candidate who you claim is black, who Al Sharpton still claims is black. You shouldn't have to fight that. This is a fight out of all the struggles that she has. And they were then they believe that her maintaining the black American vote is one of those things. It will be very simple. I mean, even if you got a granny and did the granny have more than one kid? Bring your cousin. Where your nigga cousins at, Kenny? Where and even with the sorors, if you want to, you giving all these random interviews, the Roland Martin, his sassafras ass probably came on himself to have, because he been big and he want to be the press secretary or whatever. But that's not what this is about. This is about MSNBC. I want to go through this, and it's going to cover, it's 8 minutes, and so I'm not going to hold y'all too long. I'm going to expedite it as well as I can. But once upon a time, I watched this, and I be clapping and cheering. Yeah, them dirty old Republicans, man. All them people is the same. Even the dark faced niggas. I mean, they're being paid and sponsored by folks. You see how even as Obama came out and tried to take authority over the nigga male, he still looked like he was under pressure. Like they put him out there. African, you better get your bastard ass out there and corral these niggas back to where they need to be. The black males, they trying to run off. Even though the black female, she act like she can't stand it. They don't even want to deal with the black male. she kind of listened to the black male. Okay, both of y'all, look at it like this. Both of you started off liking the same restaurant. And when y'all went there and had a good time and enjoyed it, whatever. Ooh. Along the line, one of you found a better tasting restaurant that served the same menu item, but it was significantly better than that first restaurant. So you say, I don't really like it. I'm gonna start going to this restaurant. So once upon a time, y'all go together. But now okay, you might order something from there. Or you might pop in through on lunch on your work break. So y'all have it's the same thing basically. Whether it be the right or the left, it's still the same bird. So you have MSNBC. MSNBC is a 24-hour left wing, liberal minded propaganda machine. And I used to have my TV on this shit all night. Now, during the 2008, during his Obama's first term, because they had to explain certain shit, because let me get on to this. Check this out. I'm breaking this down, YouTube. I'm not stealing these people content. Credit goes to MSNBC. Go to MSNBC to watch the full program.
If there is one thing you can count on every election cycle, it's the countless headlines about black voters shifting to Donald Trump. It's the train that's never late. We start this week with the media's favorite parlor game, powered by a New York Times Siena oversample poll, meaning they plussed up a relatively small sample of their main poll, and which the Times chose to report as follows, quote, black voters drift from Democrats, imperiling Harris's bid, poll show. The poll shows Harris leading Trump 78 to 50. Now, what's odd is that their poll contradicts a number of other recent polls and history that say otherwise. A Howard University poll.
Now listen, she's going to come on and criticize the poll, the New York Times. For I don't know. I mean, I thought that the New York Times was a reputable mainstream media news source, but MSNBC, I guess they're, and I put quotation marks, air quotes around reputable news source. So she's going to utilize other polls to and now mind you, I mean, this is what I learned even while I was still really enthralled by this politics election shit. The only polls you should really be worried about is the election they pose, because the samples can be manipulated, just all types of factors that play into the statistics of even formulating the poll. And when you look at these numbers now, even though these numbers are like 1 or 2 digits, you have to think about the amount of people that I guess the whole amount they're counting all maybe millions of black voters. 1 or 2% of let's say, well, shoot, I mean, they like 15 million. I mean, that's significant, and I imagine that's noteworthy, but I digress.
Poll from September shows Harris leading Trump among black voters in swing states 82-12. A CBS YouGov poll released just a day after the New York Times.
Several polls.
Harris leading Trump 87-12
now,
among black voters.
New York Times said 15. You got 12%. Consistent.
From former President Barack Obama's message to men and black men in particular.
Let's go back 1 second.
Among black voters. The debate about black voters also got a turbo boost from former President Barack Obama's message to men and black men in particular, who might have. You
see the tone deafness. This is a new program. Now I know that. I mean, I said something on my platforms, and it's not hard to see any man. You know, you have a man who was once in a position of power, and if you're going to come to for the most part, gaslight and shame us to support a candidate who has not specifically and solely said anything they're going to do for this specific group in which you're pointing the brothers. You know, and I see this a lot amongst the brothers. Uh, then you need to be able to show something of no, let me. I don't want to monologue too much. Let me keep going, man.
Hang-ups about voting for a woman. Over the weekend, Vice President Harris spoke with a popular social media destination, The Shade Room, think TMZ for Black folks, where she responded to questions about Obama's message.
A popular the Shade Room. Now the Shade Room known for talking about the most gutter garbage and shit. I don't know now, but albeit the Shade Room has a widespread distribution of people in which it reaches. Give me a second. Hold on one second. The Shade Room has a wide distribution of people, so I guess okay. If you want to campaign and reach folks, you go to places like these, but you also have to think about the fact that while you're trying to present yourself as really the first time a woman will be leading the superpower of the world, you counted on the Shade Room to shift your motion. There's nowhere else you could have considered going. I mean, I understand it. I mean, they called this the Shade Room, like Joy Reid said, it's the Black TMZ. Uh, man, why can't it? It's all no. Why can't it just be the Shade Room? Why got to be a version of something that's not black? You know, since we blackity blacking it. But let me continue.
What is also important is one to understand, like as I said, I intend to earn the vote of everyone, including Black men. Two, pay attention to everything that President Obama talked about, because he also talked about at length the danger of Donald Trump. The danger of Donald Trump. In turn,
you see this and that now. See, all of a sudden, now, I've never really heard her really separate black anything other than the fact that she said that what she's not going to do for black. And I guess I went up. She said her mama raised her Indian mama raised two strong black daughters, but she mentioned black, and that includes black male, black men. It's kind of condescending. Now all of a sudden, what is it? What's the date about the? The date is. Let me look at my thing. I want to say it is the 15th. It is the 15th of October in a November presidential impending election. I still need to see what I want to early vote. I'm off to date. So you know. Now all of a sudden you see black men, you know, in black just cause your newfound buddy Obama didn't want you in there. Obama wanted to have a vote, you know, at the convention, you know, to pick somebody since kind Master Biden couldn't make it, you know, because they remember that, you know, anybody, well, I should say anybody because that's being you know, that's generalizing. Um, Whomever chose to pay attention or was paying attention when she attempted to run for president the first time, they have to understand that she did extremely poorly. So the only snowball's chance in hell that she actually had to be in the seat in the highest seat in the land would have to be a series in my mind of unfortunate events like such as this. Somebody who has said that they would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. Somebody who has referred
to Black immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, legal immigrants, as though they would eat their pets.
Hold on, ma'am. Two things. Now, me, Master Trump, I say kind master, me, master. I refer to these slave owner class, upper tier white males as such, affectionately, of course. That man, I see one or two. The one time he actually got shot at. Then they found somebody with the rifle butt sticking out. Now they found somebody with 6 or 7 passports, and I don't know. Either these are some sloppy. Well, I guess the first one that tried to kill him, because they tried to say that he might have faked that. But come on, man. I don't. If did they make the makeup? Did somebody died during that shit? And I would imagine that the bullet came from the same person that hit Trump in the earlobe. But they tried to kill him once. They attempted to try to kill him the second time. Now it's another person that came in with shit. But this is not the I just really just want to make the distinction, because she said what Obama said. This dangerous. He's dangerous. Trump dangerous. What she is doing to, I mean, to those minds who support her, because I can imagine I may be being spiteful, but I'm just being reasonable, and having the common sense to know that fat meat is greasy. That the people that support her probably don't know too much, other than the fact that they think that she's a nice lady, and they might have some type of identity familiarity to her. Whether or not that's true or false, that's another story as well. So they hmm, hold on, wait a minute, because it was something else she said. Let me go back a little bit.
Somebody who has referred to Black immigrants in Springfield, Ohio.
Oh, that part right there. That's just brief, ma'am. These people have them people that they talking about got a country. It's a clever sleight of hand. Them people that you talk about, them black people that know where they from. We not they not seeds of those who once were enslaved in this country as chattel property. They are not niggers. They are not seeds of the ancestral lineage of that is nigger. They might have had slavery over there, and they got down. I ain't gonna front on the Haitians. The Haitians got down. So really, out of respect, call them for what they are. Don't try to hide them amongst us to try to attempt to foment some form of allegiance. I don't bother. You got certain folks that get online and they call them people, what they call them, tethers or whatever. I don't bother them people. I don't look at them as being a threat. This is my motherfucking country. You can come in and whatever you do, however successful that you get, kudos to you. Stay out of my way. I'm not gonna get in your way. I don't want to waste energy getting your way. I know your purpose and why I got to have long conversations of why you're here. Why do I have to have politicians that one of them, the one who is being so chastising and gaslighting, Barack Hussein Obama, his pappy is not from the slave fields of the good old United States of America South. He's a Kenyan. He's from Kenya, and he ran off on his nanny, which is a Caucasian woman. So he's a bastard by definition, a bastard, African American boy. That's not important. But the fact is that, okay, you danger, and this is a person that we have that he's pushing us to vote for.
Immigrants, as though they would eat their pets constantly. perpetuating tropes.
How many Haitians came out and said they actually do eat cats? I mean, and hold on, I gotta stop. I apologize. How many Haitians will the researcher would have you now? Maybe not the dogs, but what she has done cleverly is said pets. Now, when you mess around and be specific and say, well, when I say pets, I mean cats. Then you're not only talking about the Haitian people, you're also talking about the Stop Asian Hate people too. I mean, am I wrong? I may, shoot. But let me continue with this shit here, man. I'm
A range of issues from the economy to education, criminal justice, and housing reform, Africa policy, voter apathy, and disenfranchisement. Don't let anybody take you out the game.
Black Star Network.
There is an intent to make it more difficult. There is an intent to suggest to a lot of folks that their vote won't matter. With the intention that people will not vote, which is an attempt to silence folks. This election is going to be no different. They've already started with the misinformation and the lies. Just today, Harris rolled out a series.
Now, it can't be the fact that they have no interest in voting for you, nor they have no interest in voting for Donald Trump. It can't be the fact that maybe they just switched over to vote for Donald Trump. It can't be the fact that they're not enthused by you. It's the fact that they're somehow their minds are so feeble. The black male mind is so the African. Well, I don't know who I guess they talking about niggas like myself, African Americans. I don't know, black Americans. They're talking to folks like them and myself. So it's like you don't even give us credit to have the intellectual fortitude to pick who we think is more popular amongst the two losers in which y'all present before us. Not only are we betraying when we say that, okay, somebody say, okay, I'm gonna go get it. I'm just sick of it all. I feel more confident having Mean Master Trump as a leader. So I'm going to support Mean Master Trump. You mean to tell me that this person, and I guess since they're voting, they're clearly must be an adult age. They're not giving the umbrage to have the acumen and the well, even if they don't, even they just like the fact that Mean Master Trump is a master of snapping on his opponents. But they call that bullying. That's not what makes you a man, according to Obama. My bro. But shit crazy.
The policies for what she calls her opportunity agenda for black men.
Opportunity agenda for black men. Where the fuck that come from? Oh, don't do that, Grady. Oh man, stop. Opportunity agenda for black men. Where'd that come from? Are you serious? You ain't said nothing. She ain't said nothing. She ain't said nothing about the black male. Come on, man. Let me pause this. Matter of fact. And go down her list. It's not the whole list. Pardon me, y'all. I'm Hully Gully in here. Once upon a time, all people had to listen to was the radio, and there were no pictures or nothing. Just a voice. And the voice might have been full of static. The Harris Walls opportunity agenda for black men. Now, these aren't all the bullet points, but because Joy Reid, of course, she's going to say, what this additional point will be. Provide 1 million fully forgivable loans to small business. This is not a specifically targeted plan or policy for black males. It's not. And because they presented it already as to whomever has a small business. This says, she say fully forgivable. These are loans. They're not tax credits, but they're forgivable. When you say forgivable, if by chance I say, well, I and all my good intentions in using this paltry $20,000 to start my business, I erstwhile failed. My business folded. I didn't really make much of money, but I used all that $20,000. So you mean to say that if I can go back and tell y'all this, you'll forgive the $20,000? Now that's now. I'm sure they'll have say. I'm just bullshit because I'm sure they have safeguards and shit like that. Uh, I'll be the old Nick. Well, the old before the computers and whatever the supercomputer shit. A nigga take that 20 and in front like he doing business. And I'm sorry, I ain't got nothing for you. Especially now, one thing people should ask is fully forgivable loan for small business. They should ask is this loan does this loan go on my credit score? Or if I default or miss a payment on this loan, will it be negatively affect my Equifax score, my TransUnion? Create and invest in education, training, and mentorship programs. That is such a I don't say not. It's generalized. It's nebulous policy there. So you're saying you're gonna invest in all these things. These are things in which you should normally invest for a society in itself. You're not separating any specific policy or plan in which due to the disproportionate uh, success or economics or income that the black male has, that they'll have some form of disproportionate level of uh, governmental intervention by way of finances or what have you for that black male. You just generally listed create and invest in education, training, and mentorship program. Invest in more black male teachers. I mean, I love the kids myself. I mean, I fuck with kids. I'm not like that. I'm cool with the kids, but in a lot of situations, I've noticed that the black male teacher gets a lot of scrutiny. Uh, and even with just that factor alone, I mean, not everybody want to be a black male teacher. So I understand that this may be some type of there's a federal Department of Education or whatever that's in order for a way for them to get some type of taxpayer funding. That you're working to get the black male teachers, but really you're just working to get teachers back in because you really lost a lot of teachers after the COVID shit. Support regulatory framework for cryptocurrency and other digital. Man, come on, get the fuck out of here, man. Niggas got their money in a shoebox underneath the mat. Ain't nobody got no computer money. No, niggas don't. Even with my 3.5 years worth of accounting education by way of the private institution, the nigga institution, the Negro institution, Fisk University. Um, I don't fuck with that shit, man. Because I ask people, I said, well, you say you made this much. Can you go and just pull all that money out right now? I never got a straight answer. If I'm investing in something, hold on, my mouth dry. If I'm investing in something, I want to be able to get the money off of it off the rip. No, I didn't want that. Come on, man. What y'all doing? Hold on. If I'm investing in something, I want to see my money back immediately. I mean, not necessarily immediate. Hold on. If I'm investing, I mean, if I see that, okay, I put this amount of money in, but the cryptocurrency is saying that I made this amount of money, I want to be able to get it out. I don't get. I mean, that's just kind of dumb. Actually, I mean, that's going to benefit somebody. Maybe it's going to benefit an Asian. Gone. It is what it is. It's going to benefit Asian folks. Launch health initiatives forcing on black men. Address sickle cell was there, blah, 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 blah. Sickle cell, but man, come on, man. That's rhetoric. I thought that's what Obamacare did. As long as you got Obamacare, why are you even worried about that? But the last thing she proposed, she says that one of her part as part of her one of this particular policy is that she's going to legalize recreational marijuana and allow black males to get more of more skin in the game in regards to running the cannabis industry by way of commercialism. I live in a democratic state that is legalized. I don't know how she thinks she's gonna do that. When, especially, I mean, I live in Chicago. Chicago has a history, especially in regards to like when you think back to Chicago's history with alcohol. Now you have another substance that was already illegal and being trafficked, whatever. Now the government wants to get its beak wet, so they're going to add certain things onto it. No matter what how the government says, okay, so you're really making it easier for what was once a black market endeavor, but you're you're kind of making it hard for the consumer in regards to the fact that when I go and purchase this marijuana, it has a like say about a 15%, let's say some wild like uh I don't want to say 10 or 15% fees on just buying a straight out weed unless you got a medical card. But if you get a medical card, you're not allowed to have you're not able to concealed carry. She playing, but this is her proposal, her Hail Mary, at October the 15th is probably like 2 weeks, and let's say about 3 weeks. About 3 weeks. About to say 3 weeks. This is what she got. Joy Reid is something else. I tell you. But let me continue.
Fortunately affect African American men. She's also calling for measures that ensure that Black men have opportunities to participate as a national cannabis industry takes shape. By contrast,
What that mean?
has laid out no policy that address specific concerns of most Black voters. And no, Ice Cube's platinum plan is not on his agenda for his 7 months.
It's the sassafras. So, we don't give a fuck. We don't. People that were in the know knew the Ice Cube plan wouldn't necessarily something that would put tangibles or do something directly constructed to the to Black Americans specifically. It was just the fact that he stood up and he attempted to go before both parties. Now the Trump people they held a meeting with Q. Meanwhile, Kind Master Biden them, they gave that nigga the what they call it in football, the the hand. It's the equivalent of talking to the hand, the strong arm, whatever.
That's Ice Cube. Joining me now is Reverend Al Sharpton, president of the National Action Network and host of Politics Nation right here on MSNBC, and Jelani Cobb, dean of the Columbia School of Journalism and staff writer for the New Yorker. I was saying, Dean.
I want to stop. I know I'm killing y'all, but you looking at two of the franchise NBC, MSNBC, lucky token Negroes. These people, she been there. Because I stopped watching them I want to say like at least like 2013 or something like that. It's 2020, almost about to be 2025. These same sap, Al Sharpton, man, this Al Sharpton trough. Jelani, I think it's Jelani Cobb. I've heard his name and it is whatever. But listen to Jelani Cobb as he kind of like he's saying he's talking with their point, but he's also turning the mirror on them, making them appear as hypocrites because in the name of polling. But here we go. No, the Columbia Journalism.
I think it's black. We love that. Okay, so let's talk about it. I just want to go, and it's just for journalistic point of view, because you did write a really good piece in New Yorker about this. This trope that just comes around, I can go through all of the times it's been said. Headline show, Trump is going to win in 2016. Trump predicts he can win 95% of the black vote. Trump and the black vote is our road to redemption. That's 2016. 2020, the ballot. Why Trump's gains with black voters could swing the 2020 election. What's happening out there with black men and Trump? Lil Wayne, Ice Cube, 50 Cent. Trump makes a final push for black voters. Like every time, then we come to today. Trump was gaining ground with some black men. Here's how Harris can change the right. Polls, just Republicans are making gains. Trump courts rappers and stuff. It literally is a train that's never late. Right. And it's literally never true. Yeah, I mean, first off, Black America.
I wanted to get back to this part though. She's going over. She went over how these media sources are saying that Trump is gaining ground with Black Americans. Whether that's true or false, I mean, in my mind, because I guess from some of the things I've seen, just on the outside of the mainstream media realm, it is black folks not necessarily even messing with the Republican Party, just want to ride with Donald. Just like the black folks and the African American folks and the nigger folks used to fuck with Donald Trump in the 80s and the 90s. But don't let me I don't need to campaign for Mr. Matt McCann Massa. They talking about the rapper. He said rappers and this and it's even if they are rappers, they're still people that have the rights and the ability to vote. I really don't, and it's one of the things that are kind of offensive about the those African American, Black American Democrats that have been influenced by the liberalized of the non-black liberals, the white liberals. They have a way. Well, it's not even a way or whatever. It's a way in which it's a method in which they use, in which they'll come to you and they'll have this. Let me keep going, man. I ain't gonna mess with that. I ain't messing, but it's just the fact that some of them will come to you, and you might have. Speaking of myself, I guess I was speaking personally, so I didn't want to keep going with it. But you have a firm breast of the information and knowledge you need, even more so than the person that's coming at you. But they'll come at you with such a an intellectual or I don't know if that's a form of snobbiness. An intellectual form of snobbiness, and then as you get to breaking down the things and the thoughts of whatever they're talking about, the points of an argument. Let me keep going.
When in 2016, Trump predicts he can win 95% of the black vote. Trump and the black voters are
hold on,
2016, 2020.
Should Kamala Harris not prevail in November, it will not be the fault of any single faction of the electorate. She will receive a large majority of black men's vote, whether that and the turnout among other parts of her coalition will be enough to win her the presidency remains to be seen. Now, remember, just a couple of days ago, and now this is what the New Yorker is saying, as we see. Obama said it came to us and said that it's unacceptable for us not to put our energy and resources and our votes behind Kamala Harris. But that we are so important. This is saying that if she loses, don't put it on no particular single faction of the electorate, not the white folks, not the Asian folks, not the Hispanic folks. Clearly, since we are such a small representation of the voter base, period, surely not the African American, the black, and the nigger folks. We wouldn't, it looks good on a resume, and I guess in the blue states or whatever, if they convince the black American to still go along with the benign neglect, they'll be able to get those same votes because what she said, what Cobb is going to say that uh, regardless, the Democratic Party is going to get at least 80% of the support. So uh, if the 80% is guaranteed, then the 12 to the 15% of black support, whether it be black male or female, is significant, and it makes a difference for them. That is why what she's trying to do is downplay the fact that Obama had to come out. Now, mind MSNBC with the same Kamala Harris and the same not Kamala Harris, same Joy Reid and the same Al Sharpton that have not stood really, in my mind, unless it's to gaslight or attempt to gain some type of sympathy for a certain thing. They don't even really talk about the system of white supremacy or anti-black racism. They talk about how, in ways in which I guess you imagine they're going along to get along by way of the praise that they give those who give them the means and the method to get along while they're going along.
Why Trump's gains of black voters could swing the 2020 election. What's happening out there with black men and Trump? Lil Wayne, Ice Cube, 50 Cent. Trump makes a violent push for black voters. Like every time that we come to today, Trump was gaining ground with some black man. Here's how Harris can change the right.
Why she gotta say it like that?
Making gains, Trump courts, rappers and certain.
Rappers.
It's a train that's never late, right? And it's literally never true.
Yeah, I mean, first off, Black America is not waiting on Lil Wayne to tell us like how we're supposed to vote. No disrespect, but
you thought of that. You was sitting there the whole time while she was running through a tirade. You thought about that joke the whole time. No disrespect. If there's no disrespect, there's really never ever any need to say no disrespect before or after you say whatever it is you say. But that's something that I've understood and learned just from years of having interpersonal communication with people.
But part of it, I think, is that, this is the lowest form of journalism, the kind of poll chasing. Like this thing happens, that thing happens. And then what you wind up doing is reifying statistical noise. Things that are outliers then become to seem like they are mainline.
Now you heard what he just said. Now you talking about the deification of polls. What she has all these polls, and we know that whenever certain things go a certain way, the media outlets use not even just the media outlets, politicians, they'll present a chart, whether it be percentages or whatever. So all she really
assessments of what's going on. There's another thing here, which is fundamental. But if I were in a newsroom talking about this, I would say the old claim, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And so when we look at the level of loyalty, this number 78 to 15, there's not a scenario, not a realistic scenario in which Kamala Harris winds up with a smaller portion, but less than 80% of the black vote, likely far north of that.
Yeah,
but
clearly.
If you're going to make that claim, you need a lot more than one poll, a lot more than an oversample and a single poll. You need a consistent trend line that shows across various polls and various times and various places that this is where this vote is headed. We don't see that.
Now, mind you, the poll that she presented with the 15%, this was a poll that was given over a larger population about other generalized topics. According to the sample that they had, it was 15%. And he's talking about, well, there's no way she won't get 80%. Okay. If she get 80%, that's a whole 20. That's all out in the wind. He also got to say she more than likely get more. And even if she get more, she's losing a certain amount of she's losing black voter support. What they don't want to say, what they don't want to admit is that this part, the Democratic Party, has lost the support that they thought they had amongst the African American. Well, maybe the African Americans, they probably still, because they get a whole lot of goodies and giveaways. Because those people, a lot of times, are connected to, foreign lineage or whatever, but whatever. She ain't showed her presented herself as someone that could be that you can relate to, at least somebody like myself. I don't relate her to any of my family members. But let me keep going.
Right. I mean, we'll talk about this another day, but my just Kumar from Moto Latino, they did a big, huge, like 3,000 person sample poll, which is very different from when the New York Times did their oversample of Latino voters. Very different numbers. And I mean, the thing about it is that you will find what you're looking for. You can go into a barbershop and find that one contrary brother that's like, I like Trump. Like, I can find that, right? But that doesn't mean that one guy or that one rapper who's like doing a video for Trump represents Black men broadly. But if you're looking for that and you want to make a package about that, you can find that guy. And I think the problem with that is right now in the world, the story of kind of surviving against the odds feels really important. I ain't
got to pay. Right?
You can go all the way back. Let's go back to the Clinton era. Clinton, Dole got 15%. 2000, when Al Gore was running, Bush got 12%. You go to 2004, you run for president, Bush got 13%. McCain got 5%. Romney got 11%. Trump got 14%. Trump got 12% in 2020. There are simply about 11 to 14% of Black men who've been Republicans and been voting Republicans since '68. Mm-hmm. So you can keep finding those same brothers over and over again. That is not a trend. No,
see, what's crazy is that when Trump was when the last time when Trump ran though, they were saying that that Trump pulling over black males, a black male is a traitor, woo woo woo. But she just sat there and said, and I think it may have been her on one of her programs. She was one of the ones that was saying that trying to portray those who didn't want to support Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as some form of traitors, and they gave the numbers I think they gave at that time. It's been consistently 12. They were arguing about 13%. They were putting forth the narrative that the Black American male is a traitor because they don't support Joe Biden, the author of the Omnibus Crime Bill of 1994. But let me finish it.
Something that we see, his vote has been consistent with Republicans before him, and in 20, he was even 2 or 3 points lower than the Republican candidate. So a lot of these polls are just their projection from some
polls don't mean nothing.
Polling base. But the thing that I would challenge is some of these guys, the rappers, give us what his policies are for Black America. We demand that of a Black woman.
Yeah.
You hear what he said? He gonna say he talking about the rap. I don't know why they bringing up rappers as if every Black American male somehow raps or whatever. He would ask that we get policies from Donald Trump. We demand it since we demand it from a Black woman. Whatever Black woman he's talking about, I don't know, but we know what policy. We know the policy. We'll bring up the policies that occurred underneath Trump that would seemingly be constructed for Black Americans, even if it wasn't just solely and specifically for Black Americans. How sharp is the truth?
Laid it out today. 1 million people given loans, given forgivable loans.
Yeah.
They will let it go at $20,000 if you've got something that's viable. That's a business plan. They claim to be businessmen, a lot of these rappers. And on to the.
You hear this shit, man? If it's valuable, you can get $20. Don't be trying to trick these good white folks. Your business plan need to be viable. Since y'all rappers talk about y'all business, man, forgivable. When you, like I said, you say forgivable, does that mean that I don't know. Let me keep going, man. Y'all take it out my tax refund.
Medical support, etc. I don't even understand how we even talking about Donald Trump and business in the same sentence when we had an $8.3 trillion deficit and a supply chain disruption. He did nothing to stop the price gouging that some of the.
See, that's a lie in itself because for the most part, the issue with the imports, that at least when they started reporting it, that didn't happen till like later into the end of the year before, and like at the first 2 months of January of 2021.
People doing. He was president then. Right. He was president when
That's a
George
lie.
Floyd happened. President when Breonna Taylor happened. President when Ahmaud Arbery happened. What did he do? Oh, he got up.
See, he shouldn't do that either. He's talking about Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor. If you go down the list of those the noteworthy shootings of Black Americans versus the time period versus the time period underneath mean Master Trump, there's a significant difference, because even people on the lowest of the spectrum of the totem pole felt as if they were gaining money, they were earning money. You ain't got to play in our face talking about y'all niggas get y'all business, y'all start y'all little business, get $20,000. $20,000 ain't shit. It's a good way to pad your pockets. Now, what if I mess around and say, I got a produce truck, but on my produce truck, I got several types of marijuana and apples and onions. I don't know, man. It's
Bible went across the street at the Secret Service clear protesters and condemned the protesters. So
Peace,
what
Jolly.
are we going to think he's going to do that he didn't do in the 4 years he was there?
So yeah, that I don't even see it. It seemed more meteor when I first looked at it, but that's for the most part what I'm trying to say is, on one hand, they get this one particular poll. They have criticism toward that particular poll, so they get other polls in an attempt to discredit that. But the other people that they're using polls from are not necessarily people that you would be confident. I mean, left leaning. I don't know. I mean, I ain't trying to go on all that, but this is all I got, man. Let me get out here. Mainstream media is the strongest propaganda tool. Well, one of the strongest propaganda tools known to man. And if you don't take the opportunity and the time to try to investigate and use your own sense of discernment to figure out what's in your best interest and what's not, then you'll still end up ending in a situation where why can't I stop? If you're not able to use your sense of discernment when you look across this mainstream media news clips and things of that nature, you're not able to think with common sense and logic and ration and reason, then you're going to be easily misled. And in my mind, when I attempted this video in my inebriated state, that's what I was going to try to. That was my endeavor to show. Peace and love, man. I'm out.